They should be kept. Right? They should be. Indeed. Indeed.
How is it that my father can be convicted of 34 crimes, but no one on Epstein's list has even been brought to light? I'm trying to figure out how that's possible, right?
Listen, that Jeffrey Epstein story is a big deal. Please do not let that story go. Keep your eye on this. Catherine Rumler, we need to keep the heat on this case, folks. There are a lot of people who are knee deep in the Washington swamp who are not telling you the truth about serious allegations out there that Epstein may have had video and audio of people out there doing things they shouldn't have been doing. And you should be asking yourself the question, how is it that all these people, the CIA director, the Obama fixer, Bill Clinton, all intersected paths with Jeffrey Epstein? Jeffrey Epstein isn't with us anymore, and nobody seems to want to talk about it.
In this case, in Epstein's case, it is incredibly disturbing. We have flight logs, we have information, names that will come out.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump.
Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list.
Everybody in politics has a vice that's much worse than alcoholism, is the way that I put it. But we
release the list.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
So, okay. Promises were made. Promises were made. Things were said. And in turn, what was the reward of all of that statement? What was the reward that everyone was getting after 5 years since 2019? During all of Biden's administration, Trump was talking about Trump supporters, everybody, and look, even us on the left, we wanted that list to be made public. We wanted to know because there are victims out there. There are women who have come forward. And there are witnesses who have died, who are gone. I mean, it's very convenient that they're gone now. I don't want to assume or project that something nefarious happened, but it is interesting that some key witnesses did pass away. It is interesting how the media is trying to brush this away and how people who've made a career of talking about Jeffrey Epstein are now doing the Uno reverse card and choosing not to acknowledge it, not to talk about it. And this is all a way to make you forget, because there's going to be something else that's going to distract you. Now, we all know that, yes, that maybe even this story, too, is distracting you from something else. But this is a big story because everyone is involved. The high echelon leadership, like, you can't make this story disappear. The internet, people talking to each other. I speak to people on the left and the right all the time. And I got to tell you, this stuff right here should be enraging every single person in the room. But you get stuff like this.
Honestly, I'm done talking about Epstein for the time being. I'm going to trust my friends in the administration. I'm going to trust my friends in the government to do what needs to be done, solve it, balls in their hands. I've said plenty this last weekend. So if you guys want to see my commentary on it, that's fine. Honestly.
Look. And of course, then you have Republicans choosing to block the list.
For breaking news, the Republican-controlled House Rules Committee has just voted to block the release of the Epstein files. Joining us now, the member of Congress who forced that vote, Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna of California. Congressman Khanna, give us the latest situation.
Force the vote. I don't want to sit here and just pontificate again, but it's interesting how it works, or trying to do it.
With the House Rules Committee.
Well, it's very disappointing. I had a very simple amendment that the full Epstein files should be released. It went for a vote to the House Rules Committee. Jim McGovern, who is the ranking member for House Democrats, made sure that all 4 Democrats voted for the release. Ralph Norman, a Republican, actually joined with the Democrats, saying that there should be a vote on the full release. Chip Roy didn't show up for the vote, but 7 other Republicans blocked it. So as of now, there is going to be no vote tomorrow, up or down vote on whether the Epstein files should be released.
And this was the first stage of your attempt to get a full vote by the House of Representatives, to see a full recorded vote. Everyone could see how their member of Congress voted on this issue. And that's what was blocked by the Rules Committee, not allowing you to get to that stage on the floor. Why would it be important to have that recorded vote on the floor?
Because we want to know who's going to go to bat, genius, to cover up the most prolific human trafficker in international history, not just American history, international history. I mean, if there was no blackmail list, if there was no self-deletion, I mean, come on. Why is Miss Maxwell, still locked up? Why is she still locked up? I do want to know this, because the thing is, now everyone in the United States, whether you live in a red or blue state, you're going to know what your fantastic elected official voted on in regards to Ro Khanna's forced vote, where they stood on the issue. Now, look, I got my criticism of Ro Khanna, but at least, okay, hey, I'll give him this. I'll give you this, Ro Khanna. That's not saying much. At least you put in some effort. And at least now we know. So we have a list. We know who said no.
Well, in a very simple way, we should see whose side are you on. That's really what this Epstein file issue has become. It's not just about knowing who's being protected, the rich and the powerful, in terms of who had interaction with Jeffrey Epstein. It's the sense that people have that the government is too beholden to certain interests who have their thumb on the scale, and that they're not working for ordinary people. And what the Democrats are saying is, we want to make sure that we get full justice here, that we get full transparency. And this may have been the first attempt that was blocked, but I'll tell you, it's not going to be the last attempt. We already have Representative Vesey, who has a resolution. Leader Jeffries is saying that we're going to push for transparency here. And we can keep introducing these kind of amendments every week.
I want to acknowledge some people in chat. Shout out to my people in Kick. Commercial says, this is an effing clown show. Sunshine Lollipop says, Congress hasn't done anything to help the people in 50 years. Man, probably even more than that. And also, Commercial Herschel says, the bread is poisoned and the circus is clumsy. Which Sunshine Lollipops retorts saying, oh, I disagree. The circus is a fine-tuned machine to distract you.
Every month to force the Republicans to demand the release. And this is something that many Republicans believe should happen, as was evidenced by Ralph Norman's vote.
Now let's talk about the Democrats, because Hakeem Jeffries isn't doing anything. He's not helping out people here, okay? Don't expect the Democrats to be the people to save the day.
The American people deserve to know the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth as it relates to this whole sordid Jeffrey Epstein matter. Democrats didn't put the Jeffrey Epstein thing into the public domain. This was a conspiracy that Donald Trump, Pam Bondi, and these MAGA extremists have been fanning the flames of for the last several years. And now the chickens are coming home to roost. The American people deserve to know the truth. What, if anything, is the Trump administration and the Department of Justice hiding?
Now, remember, when it was the Democrats in charge and people were asking for these files, the Biden and his administration really wasn't cooperating at all. Okay? Because, again, just a little bit of a news shocker. I know a lot of people are using the photos of Trump and Epstein together, but don't forget, good old Bill Clinton, and a whole bunch of other celebrities and businessmen and top 1%ers are hanging out with Jeffrey. I mean, are we going to be? Let's please stop being stupid. Corporate media, stop treating us like we're fools. I mean, it's either the establishment is really dumb and think they can get away with this, or either that they have such a low opinion on us, it is starting to get ridiculous. Like, where is the evidence? Where's the files? Just release it, you know? I mean, you're only prolonging the inevitable, because the longer you hide it, the longer it's being denied, the longer it's being dismissed, the longer it looks like there's some paper being shredded or burnt or buried, the more people are going to get furious, because victims have come forward. Some key witnesses are no longer here, especially the chief witness, first name Jeffrey, last name Epstein. I mean, stop trying to think or tell us that it doesn't exist and that we shouldn't worry about it. I think we should, because human trafficking is a problem in the United States. Still is. It still is.
What are you hiding? If you're not hiding anything, prove that to the American people. And if you are trying to hide something, as many of Donald Trump's MAGA supporters apparently believe, then the Congress should actually work hard to try to uncover the truth for the American people. There are only two things that are possible here. Option one, Donald Trump, Pam Bondi, and the MAGA extremists intentionally lied to the American people for years about the Jeffrey Epstein situation. That's option one. Option two is that, in fact, there's reason for the American people to be concerned as it relates to what information has not been released that could be damaging to the Trump administration and the friends and family of the Trump administration and their billionaire corrupt supporters. And so they're actively engaging in a cover-up. Option one, they lied for years. Option two, they're engaging in a cover-up. At this point, it seems reasonable that can only be one of the two things. And so it's Congress's responsibility in a bipartisan way to ask the questions and try to get answers on behalf of the American people.
And so here's Ro Khanna actually doing and demanding the full release of the Epstein files.
Mr. Speaker, I introduced today an amendment demanding the full release of the Epstein files. The Speaker's Rules Committee should demand a vote tomorrow of every member of Congress. Yes, we should release it, or no, we should not. This is a question of whose side are you on? Are you on the side of protecting the rich and the powerful who've put their thumb on the scales of government to suck out millions of dollars while working class Americans suffer? Or are you on the side of the people? The Attorney General said on her desk was the Epstein file. And now she's saying, no, 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 nothing to see, don't release it. This is a question of trust. We need to release the Epstein files so we can restore government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And every member of Congress tomorrow should be forced to vote on this amendment. Mr. Speaker.
Now, let's take 2 steps back. There have been numerous conservative influencers who made a career out of talking about Jeffrey Epstein since 2019. Through that time, they have, now I do question their sincerity about how much they really did care. I do, all right? Because when you build a platform, when you talk about something so horrific, and when you point fingers at the establishment, and then all of a sudden you tell people, hey, we're done. Did you get a phone call? Did somebody call you late at night and told you to shut up? Did you get a paycheck to be told to shut up? Or did you get a phone call and a paycheck to tell you to shut up? Or did you just get like some anonymous letter in the mail saying, hey, if you don't be careful, you're going bye-bye? Well, let me explain something to everybody. This is how you know what a grifter will look like. Because so many politicians jumped on board. So many people in the right did jump on board. Now, look, this is the same problem on the left, too. All right? But I think everyone needs to be furious about this, because I'm seeing a united movement of people on the left and the right calling out other people who have positions of influence for their acceptance of the fact that there's nothing to be seen. Oh, Jeffrey E. just he self-deleted, even though the autopsy reports something different. And that there's no list. And that there's nothing suspicious, even though there's numerous interviews, there's numerous statements, there's numerous written documents and audio recordings of Jeffrey E. and people associated with him saying something completely different. And look, again, here's your homework assignment. James O'Keefe, he dropped that video of ABC News, belonging to Disney at the time, still does, in which you had a commentator at ABC News complaining about the fact that their Jeffrey Epstein story was done, that they had to bury it because a member of the royal family had associations with Jeffrey. And oh no, ABC News would not get that exclusive interview with Will and Kate, the royal family. So yeah, we're witnessing in real time a full-on media Men in Black kind of campaign. Look at the light and flash, boom, you forget all about it. And they're going to try and do everything they can to convince people across the political spectrum to not worry about the story. Now, we've had people, we saw under Biden how liberal Democrats were trying to have you forget or dismiss this story. And now you have the Trump administration doing the exact same thing. Click, copy, paste. But there needs to be more pushback. There needs to be more vocal pushback. You can't bury something like this for 5 years. And this will impact this will impact the Republican Party, especially going into midterm election cycle. Now, maybe, folks, maybe enough people wake up and realize that the midterms, it doesn't matter who gets in office. Because let's say the Democrats, I don't know, regain the House or potentially could get the Senate or 50-50, depending on how things go. You think the Senate's going to be forcing this issue? I mean, they could, but then that's also going to implicate, I don't know, Democrat corporate donors. They're good billionaires. And of course, remember, as much as people want to show Trump hanging out with Epstein, don't forget, Bill Clinton did the same thing too. See, it's all a game. It's all a game of distraction. And this is how people get tricked. And they're going to force you to forget about it. And if you're not going to forget about it, they're going to force your coworkers, your friends, your family members, random people in the street to forget about it, because the world will go on. Sadly, it does. On the tilted axis, this world will circle around the sun. But for the victims, the people who are not here, who have suffered in silence, are now publicly before the world are being forced into that box again of silence. I've never seen anything like this before, but it won't be the last time. This is how they want to have control. This is how control gets put upon you, to forget, to forget, to forget, to forget. They want you to go back to sleep and not worry about the poison. As a wise man once said, let all the poison in the mud hatch out. And if you caught that reference, I love you. And don't forget to subscribe, because this story ain't done. Not by a mile.